So the three most important qualities in a teacher, I think, are connecting with the pupils, making sure that they can engage with you, you can engage with them, you've got some kind of rapport, and that they like you. I think that's really important. I would say for me, I think enthusiasm is really important, because you don't want a dull teacher. You want someone who loves their subject and is going to make it exciting. And thirdly, I think being organised is quite important. Certainly, I find it really important to have everything, have like a lesson plan, have everything in place so that every pupil is learning everything that they need to know for the pre-test, that I haven't missed anything out, and that I'm sort of repeating things with them so that they've not forgotten anything by the time they've got to the test. So being organised is quite important for that. The next question, my best teaching experience. So I had a pupil who was struggling to learn her fractions. So I taught her adding fractions and taking away fractions. So I taught her this method that I'd come up with using a smiley face emoji. And I taught her this, and then she came back 1 week or 2 weeks later saying that she'd been taught it at school and how she'd shown her teacher my method, and her teacher made her stand up and explain that method to everyone else. And she was chuffed with it. And yeah, so that was quite good. That felt good. My biggest challenge was when I was given a pupil 2 weeks before their test. So it was in half term, October half term, and the mother just said, look, I know we've only got 2 weeks, but can you do what you can with him? So I just had to work out the best way of maximising his scores, what to teach him so that he would get the best result. So that was quite hard. I don't really think I'm ever going to take a pupil 2 weeks before their test again and have to cram it in, especially as he was a pupil who struggled to learn. So that was tough. So I got into teaching 2015 when we moved back, myself and my 3 children, my husband moved back from Switzerland, where we'd lived for 6 years, and my children had done everything in French. They'd been to a French school, they followed the math syllabus in French, they hadn't really done much English, although they spoke English. And so we came back here and realised we had a year before my son had to do his pre-test. So I got on and had to just teach him English, all the phonics. I mean, he knew the basics, but I had to take it back. So lots of English, lots of comprehension practice. And then I had to learn the math syllabus, so year 5 and year 6 math syllabus, and teach it to him. He hadn't even learned how to do his times tables. He was so behind because they teach in a really different way. It's all mental maths. So I did that for a year. Every night we would work on it. And then my friends were sort of saying, oh God, maybe you could help me with my son. He's got his pre-test. Can you, I can't sit down with him. He won't work with me. Perhaps you could try with him. So that's how it all started, really. I had a really good experience with my son. He was keen to learn and I loved it. And I loved learning, just teaching myself the whole math syllabus, which I obviously hadn't done since school. So yeah, that's how I got into it. And I've done it ever since, helping kids in lots of different places in the UK and Switzerland and Dubai as well. So I do a lot online, and then the rest I do at my house. So yeah, and I've loved it ever since. And do I do anything else? At the moment, I am doing lots of teaching, as in tutoring, and I look after my 3 kids. So that's keeping me quite busy. So that's all. Thank you very much.